and welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. Welcome to Monday and our Inquisitor, Mutants and Masterminds 40k show. Poof, what a mouthful. I am so happy to be here and to be back. I'm sorry I missed Divinity stream this morning, but I was really tired after a long weekend. I hope you all had a great weekend and you are ready to dive into RPG this week, because here on Encounter Roleplay we have a lot of goodies coming up for you. But before we get into all of those goodies, why don't we deal with just today's show? Let's quickly go around the cast, see how everyone is, see what we're about to get into. Jason, how are you doing?
Doing just fine. Glad to be here. At JustJasonPlease on Twitter. I am Jason Catrone and playing Vasily Taltos, Incinerant Servant to Inquisitor Matilda, played by the lovely, lovely lady to my left, right? I'm not entirely sure what the direction is, but so glad to be here. So glad to be finally on the road to properly burning some heretics, and yeah, having some pretty good fun along the way.
How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Hey, everybody. Kat, I'm a Cleric of Cord. I'm playing Sefenia Gregori, a sister of battle for our martyred lady, and she has a powered sword, and she's ready to take the heads of some heretics. She believes that Matilda is finally, the Inquisitor, Madam Inquisitor, is finally going to let her off the leash. And she's looking forward to it.
I mean, I've let you off the leash a couple of times. Okay. We can argue about this when there are heretics' heads on the floor. Hope, how are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. Hey, everybody. It's Pope World Build, or World Build here on the Twitch. I get to come back this Monday and play Kifkin Severus Dracon, our long-suffering and quite excitable adept. And we'll see what terrible, terrible choices I get to make today.
Yes, terrible choices. Speaking of terrible choices, how are you doing, Bastian?
I'm doing great. I've made some terrible choices in preparing today's combat, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, had a good week. And really looking forward to today. Normally we do a bit more roleplay compared to combat ratio, but today we're kind of getting into the thick of it, unless you want to negotiate your way out, but that's... no, you don't want to negotiate with terrorists, cultists.
I'd have to negotiate with my team before we got to negotiate with cultists. I think, you know, the hounds have scented heresy. There's no stopping them now.
Well, that's why you brought them, right? To find the heresy and then kill them. Can't do it all on your own.
No, I certainly can't. Speaking of being unable to do it all on our own, Encounter Roleplay are supported by a number of sponsors who you should go and check out. The first of which that I would like to mention today is, of course, Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. All the beautiful maps, I hear there are maps today, and roles that you see are done using Fantasy Grounds. You can check it out for free at fantasygrounds.com. But if you like playing with more tactile things, why not check out Wayland Games, who offer a host of D&D, Warhammer, and 40k minis and more for up to 20% off. You don't even have to put in a code. It's already done for you. That's waylandgames.co.uk. And finally, shout out, of course, to Tabletop Loot, who sell the most amazing dice. When we hit 20 retweets, we will give away a set of dice. So that's a free set. And if you don't win, go and check out their beauties. You might find something you want to invest in. Anyway, that's what I was going to say. There we go. Where's the hard? So check out that tweet. Hit the retweets. That's such a huge support. Letting people know that you're enjoying the show. Letting people know to come and check it out. Finally, you can interact with the game in a number of ways too. You can donate to affect the game by giving players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and of course there's that table of pets that I'm never going to let die, and I'm going to keep saying as long as Will has left this in my script. And if there is a moment you love during the show, please clip it. We like making highlight reels for Twitter. And also, I just like watching the silly faces we all make. So, without further ado, Bastian, lead us into the dark.
Yes.
What are we doing today?
I'll do a really short recap of last week. They went to an outpost 75, if I'm correct, where they found a big Arbeitsforce holding camp. They went into a tunnel, and they wandered into a SWAT force barricade in the tunnel, which I am gonna put on screen because I've done preparation today. Ta-da! There we go. Everyone shifted. It's just for clarity. It's not too fancy today. And when they haven't been discovered yet, and Kifkin started to run towards their vehicle, which held explosives, if I'm correct, their own SWAT car. And that's where we left off last week. So, Kifkin, Pope, you were running towards the vehicle.
Wasn't running towards our vehicle because that's a ways back.
Mm-hmm.
Running towards the nearest vehicle.
Yeah.
Going to use the right of unlocking and then quickly jury rig the dash of this vehicle to erupt in flame, thus causing somewhat of a distraction. So hopefully people will come and inspect it and we can just sneak past.
Okay. You can roll me a technology or demolitions.
I will roll tech because I don't see demolitions anywhere.
Oh, then you don't have it. Tech will do.
26.
26. 26 will definitely allow you to do that.
You're not using your new pet, right?
New pet.
The bomb.
Oh, no. Care has a job to do. That is not here.
Care does
So-
have a job to do.
As you set off the fire, there is shouting around in the encampment above ground. The rest that who are waiting in the tunnel just outside of sight, they hear the explosion of fire as well, but the SWAT squad is not responding.
Well, I'm going to find cover again and hide. So, let's do another stealth roll. 21.
Okay. Do you where exactly do you want to go?
I'm going to head towards the entrance of the tunnel, taking cover there, and using hide in plain sight.
Okay. Yeah, the barricade is 50 meters into the tunnel, so it's not like right at the entrance.
Okay. Well, I'll stay towards the entrance.
Okay.
Until I hear otherwise.
So, how are you gonna approach this? That's the main question.
Mattel would like to try something subtly.
Okay.
She will turn to Safenia. Sister, I need you to protect my body for a moment. And we see Matilda, who is really slight of frame, kind of stoop down and eventually go limp. She's got short dark hair and these dark eyes which remain open and wide and grow darker and darker as the smell of ozone kind of builds around her. And I'm actually going to attempt to dominate mind. But as she's focusing and dominating, and part of her is kind of shifting in and out of being in her own mind as she reaches in this other person's, one of the Arbites that she can see on the other side of the barricade.
Okay. You can roll me first. It's good to know that we are not starting with replenished hero points, as we were ending in a gig. Actually, I'm going to give you all one instead of the normal two.
I was gonna say, I think I had one left anyway.
So you go to 2, and those that didn't have any go to 1. If you had 2 already or more, you go back to 2. And
if you do donate to us and give us a nat 20, that's kind of what our nat 20s become. these hero points, which enable us to do extra cool things or do special rerolls.
Yep.
All right, so I missed.
So,
and then 19. So that's
19.
my willpower to start, so I can reach across, and then we need to do a contested roll as I battle to gain control of the Arbite's mind.
Dominate. Actually, the dominate is just a will save from his side.
Oh, okay.
As he has to, let's see, do you have sight? But you do need to hit him.
I need to physically hit him to dominate him?
No, you need, let's see. Oh, it's, and I made it sight, never mind.
Okay.
So he just needs to resist it. So he will have to roll. I need to.
Yeah, let me know if I've read anything wrong on the sheet, Bastian.
Yeah, no, you've read it correctly. I didn't. So he's got to make a will save. And he rolls a 19. Can you see
19.
that? Yes,
Yep.
you can. Can I make him public? Yes. Okay.
So that's the 19 versus my 19? Is that how that works?
Versus your difficulty class.
Okay, my difficulty class is
Put it in there.
15. Hang on.
Yeah. It's
it
is
it
will
say
save
that?
DC 15. Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
he makes it, and he doesn't get affected, and he can roll a perception to see if he notices it, since it is insidious, which means you do not notice the power unless you roll high enough on your on the perception, which is the same DC, and that's an 11 plus.
It's alright. He's just gonna get an airy feeling. It's okay, guys.
14. He
I can try
doesn't notice.
Alright, I want to double down and try that again. I felt that door was beginning to open for me. So unless Safenia or Vasily or Kifkin want to take an action, Matilda's gonna try that again.
Mm-hmm. So basically, as soon as they notice, we roll initiative.
Okay.
Regardless of what they notice.
Well, is it possible for me to use my luck control, my sort of, I think it was something like Spiritus Domine, where I force an enemy to take a lesser result in conjunction with her psychic rolls? Or
Yes, you can, but you need line of sight with him yourself. So that does risk them spotting you.
Good enough. I'll just go ahead and sort of stoop down next to Matilda and sort of look to the array of fresh minds that we shall prey upon, and I sort of look to her. Right. Which one are you trying to get?
The tallest one. He's easiest to see.
Marvelous. Good lad. Striking. Then I just sort of take a look at him and whisper some prayers as Matilda, I'm assuming at least, takes a second shot at this.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically how the power works is you force anyone to re-roll a die and take the lower of the two results. So he's going to roll again. And he rolls 8, which is lower. And 8 compared to the DC of 15 means he's 2 degrees under, which means that he gets compelled. So you can give him you can compel him to do something. One action.
He is gonna turn to the guy next to him and punch him in the face. And then his immediate reaction would be to use movement to run away. So kind of turn, punch, and run.
Okay.
Whether he hits or not. It's just she's causing chaos without causing an explosion in the tunnel.
He hits his comrade, who then has to make a toughness roll, which is 20. So he does hit him, but it's not enough to knock him out. And he starts running, and the rest of them turn and start cursing.
As he runs, Matilda forces him to talk in nonsense. He's just talking in nonsense gibberish. Any gibberish words she can think of just spill out of his mind. So she's making him appear as if he's lost his tiny brain, which he has. because it now belongs to Matilda.
Yeah. He every turn he can make another save to get out of it. He will try to get out of it, which he will on his next turn. So he is running down the hallway at this point. Is there anything the rest of you wants to do while this is happening? There's 9 still at the barricade.
Oh, Bastia, sorry, everyone. Quick question. You know how I can do more than one thing at once? They're grouped into 2 groups, correct?
Sorry? Yeah.
So with the powers, I can do more than one power at once, but it has to be from the 2 different groups.
Yeah. So
right?
So basically, the one group is it's more structured in you can attack with the different one of each of those on an action, and the other ones are non-combat, so they stand on their own. They're not shared in your experience spending.
Gotcha. Okay, good to know.
And of course, you can combine them because of that.
Okay.
So
it's probably time to let the rest of the team have a go. So.
Yeah, well, they're free to interject at any time, but as soon as he turns around, that's when you'll have to do something. Otherwise, I will do something.
Okay.
So, how many are along the barricade at the minute?
9.
There's 9, and there's 6 of them having their assault. They have assault rifles trained on the hallway. Especially now that the explosion and fire has gone off, they brace themselves, loaded their weapons, and are locked onto the hallway. And there's another 3 which are slightly behind them, sitting against the wall.
Marvelous. Sifenia, are we still presuming innocence at this point?
This has become a combat situation, if I'm not mistaken. She's looking at the Inquisitor, trying to determine if Matilda is still incapacitated or not from her mind control stunt. The ones above are innocent. These are guarding below. I do not believe so. However, Madam Inquisitor did say she wished to be subtle.
Well, she always says that.
Well, yes, but that's because we tend to not be.
I'll just sort of rise from my position, flamer held in hand with like a fist or a hand up, like saying, "Stop, civilian," or like, "Don't shoot," sort of trying to communicate that to the 9 that are on the barricade.
Okay. So as soon as you step into sight, all 6 of them fire at you, and we can roll initiative.
Bastion, I was going to ask, because Matilda is in the dude's brain who's running away, would I have a chance to combine a power before I lose control of him, or no?
Basically, this power, it affects one person, and you don't so much get in his head as compel him to do something. So with the 2nd degree, you can give him an order that compels him, which is not against his nature. So
Gotcha.
Punching a buddy is okay. Shooting a buddy would have been too far. If you have controlled, you have full control, and you can give them an order on your turn, or give a standing order.
Is Matilda incapacitated at the moment?
No.
Distracted.
Yeah.
Heavily distracted.
All right.
So I will first roll the 6 attacks on Jason. You get your full defense because you were prepared.
All right.
And that is, let's see, they have +6, so that is a 12. which misses probably.
This is against which one?
Dodge. Unless you
Dodge.
you can't parry with your flamer, so.
I can certainly try. No, so I just have to roll.
No, you
for
just have
dodge,
to tell me
or-
your dodge defense, which is 10 plus your dodge.
17.
17, okay. So that is 1 miss, 1 miss, 1 miss. We get 1 hit. So you get to roll a toughness against damage 4, I believe, if I'm correct. Double check
what-
that. Damage 4, yes.
Would like to interject. Could I possibly, for the one that hit, use that same luck control power of like making them roll again?
Yes, you can. Cost you a point of luck, but you can.
Sure. I've got 3, I think, to spend. Let me check.
And you can use or your gifted critical hits as well as points for it.
I've got 4 points in luck, so I'll take a point of luck, leaving me with 3.
Okay. You used 1 earlier on Matilda's roll as well, so that leaves you at 2.
Okay, so I have 2. Aha.
And your hero point and the net 20 you still have. So you can use those for the power as fuel as well. So you're forcing him to reroll the 15.
Yes.
Means he gets a 13 plus 6 is a 19. So
19. Yeah, well.
not
yeah.
enough luck.
I feel better about myself.
Yeah. The Emperor protects. So
Emperor
you get
protects,
to
indeed.
roll a toughness roll against strength of 4, which means the difficulty class to take no damage is 19.
Okay, now, since I am wearing carapace armor, that's a +5 to my toughness, correct?
Yeah, if you have that on your sheet, then yes.
I do indeed. Hiya! 18.
18 means you're 1 under. That puts you at a -1 on future toughness checks.
Oh no.
Oh no, yes. And makes you dazed, if I'm correct, for 1 round. Until your next action.
We only just fixed you, Vasily.
So you, as you move into the hallway, you hear the fire of hell guns. Yeah, that's the one. Open up, and the hallway lights up with red streams of high energy assault rifles. As one pierces the flesh in your side. It's no serious wound, but it hurts.
I'm
And
just
that's
going
when
to. Yeah, I'm going
we
to poke out
go
my
and
head and
roll.
like stare.
A roll initiative. So I will roll for the SWAT, which goes on a 11.
I'm imagining the sound of gunfire is going to really bring Matilda back to her body and abandon ship on the dominated mind.
Initiative 0. Shit. Hiya!
See, I would like to, as I'm busy floating in my warpy space on my way back to my own brain, can I use my ability See the Void, please?
Yeah, I'll allow it. I almost assumed you were already using your other vision, so you can roll me another willpower for that, just
Okay,
to
cool.
see if it goes off. And let's note down the initiatives.
19, so it does. That's it. All my good rolls are getting out of the way now. I can feel it.
So you have a 19 plus your initiative,
Right.
which makes.
Oh no,
you-
that was to see if it works, right? So I have to
yeah.
roll a willpower.
That goes off. Yeah, and then you roll.
Yeah, so now roll my initiative.
Anyone I can
7
note down already?
Plus
7?
12 is 19.
19.
It's my magic numbers today.
All right, Jason.
17, just straight up.
17.
Yep.
3.
3. And last but not least, I hope
10 for
Okay.
Sifenya.
it's not least. That gives us an order of Matilda first, then Vesely together with the SWAT soldiers, Sifenya and Kifkin. So, Matilda, what would you like to do?
So as Matilda is leaving the mind of the SWAT dude and coming back to her own, she takes a minute to look around in the warp space, and she sees shadows move, shadows of the initiative to come, and it means that she can act quicker than anyone else. And seeing the gunfire wash kind of over Vasily, she stands, and I'm gonna say she runs to the line.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me if I can do this or not. If she runs to the line, and I want to use that her shriek as an area of effect, hoping that Vasily is not going to be caught. But it's important she gets there before her comrades do, because otherwise their brains go pop as well.
Yeah, definitely. The hallway curves. You're coming from the left with this picture, and it curves just around the corner where you come into sight, which is at one range band, which is about 30 feet away. So you can reach the barricade and then shriek, which will catch everyone except Jason, who you try to avoid. For that, you only need to roll me the willpower to see if it goes off. The activation check.
7. No, can I spend a hero point, please?
It does give you 17, and the DC is 15. So as long as you roll above 5, your power goes off. So it already went off with the 17.
Oh.
So you don't need to.
Oh, I forgot I got to add something. It wasn't just a flat roll.
Yeah, your
Okay,
willpower.
sorry.
That's okay. So it goes off, and all of them, except the one that ran away, have to roll a toughness against your damage. They first get to make a reflex save for half damage.
So her back kind of arches and her mouth goes wide, but there's no sound that comes out.
Yeah.
But what they feel in their minds is this terrible sound, this shriek from kind of the primordial void ringing around their brains.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And they, I have it here, resisted by will, which means they have to make a will save for half damage instead of dodge.
So it's damage 5.
Yeah, I will first make a, let's see, is that 8 rolls? I think it is. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Needs to roll one more. So that means that 1, 2, 3, 4 of them make it, and 5 don't. So 4 of them have to roll against half damage, and 5 have to roll against full damage. So what happens is you see 2 of them. They grab their heads and they go unconscious. The rest also, any eyes you can see light up in panic, and some of them look like they're wounded, staggered, so to say. And some of the others, they stay focused. So let's say 4 of the ones on the barricade with guns still have their guns over the barricade, and the rest to cover or grab their heads. Which concludes Matilda's action. Then next up is Vasily together with the SWAT. So the 4 of them that are on the barricade, they now have Matilda inside and you halfway into cover. 2 of them will shoot at Matilda, and the other 2 will try to hit Jason, who is ducking into cover. So let's see. The first 2 are on Matilda, and they both hit, which means...
I have a question about my shield on my sheet. Was that a reaction to turn that on, or is it I had to pre-turn that on? I already forgot what the rules were.
It is on. It's
okay, it is on.
Where did I put it?
It's down in equipment, refractor shield 4 EP, it says.
Yeah. It basically gives you the protection
Okay.
Which you normally wouldn't have otherwise.
Yes.
You will have to roll me 2 toughness checks.
Okay.
Against a DC of 19 for no damage. But this is going to be.
I can't roll dodge.
No, the dodge is the passive defense, which means you have a defense of 15 to hit, but they both rolled high.
Okay, got you. 5 plus 2 is 7, so that's a fail. 9 plus 2 is 11, so I'll also fail.
All right, I will look up sheet and then we will roll the cross reference. So it's damage 4, and you had a 7 and a
11.
11. So the 11 will give you the dazed and a -2 penalty. And I think, Jason, you were not dazed. I misread that earlier. And the lower roll will give you a -3, stacking with the -2, and make you staggered. So what this means is you move at half speed. You only get 1 action on your next turn, and your next toughness check is on -5 until you heal.
Got it. Yep, got it. That's alright. I got big soldiers coming in behind me. I'm not worried.
And then the 2 on Vesely, you get a bonus because you're ducking into cover on defense of +2.
Yep, and my base. Okay, so my base ability to dodge is 17, I think.
Yes.
So
the first hit is first is a 16 and the second is a 15, so both of them miss.
okay,
As you duck into
great.
cover. But you see the Inquisitor being shot full in his chest and another in the leg.
Oh, I don't like that one bit. All right, I would like to storm the barricade and just unfurl a full spout from my heavy flamer, just gloriously spreading out on the 4 that I can visibly see, not the ones that are hidden like cowards.
You can, with your cone, if you fire it about 10 to 15 meters before the barricade, you can go past Matilda and fill the rest of the hallway.
Sounds like a plan.
Catching them all. Which means you don't have to roll anything for that. They have to roll a dodge to try to duck into cover, which they try to do. And then the ones that make it roll against half damage.
All right.
What is the effect of the rank of your flamer?
The effect rank of the flamer. Equipment. Powers, equipment, comps. I know that we did have it somewhere.
It's
can't
probably
remember where.
next to offense.
Effect rank is 6.
6. Okay, so they
there
have
it
to
is.
roll against DC 16, which means that 1, 2, 3, 4. 4? Yes, 4 roll against half damage and 4 roll against full damage.
Fine.
Wait,
First
is
the
this a
half-
flamer
half-
or a heavy flamer?
Heavy flamer.
8. It's 8.
Then, let's see. Then it's 3 that roll against half damage. And
All right.
5 that roll against full damage. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them burst into flames and start running down the hallway. 2 of them manage to the armor manages to shrug off most of the liquid before it catches fire, and then I have to roll 3 more against half damage, of which 1 also starts running down the hallway, and 2 of them they manage to duck. The armor covers most of the fire.
All right.
Nice and effective, which means that there is now 1 of them still on the barricade with a weapon. There is, if I'm counting correctly, and there's 2 that are covering also with their weapons. The rest of them is on fire, and it starts to smoke heavily in the hallway. but everyone has gas masks on. So
Yeah.
which brings us to Vasily Sofenia.
Yes. Sofenia has just seen Madam Inquisitor shot, and she's more than a little grumpy at the moment. So she is going to, in her power armor, with the helmet down, just begin striding forward, the power sword out in her hand. And she's just locked on to this barricade and to these Arbites that have shot the Inquisitor. And when she gets in range, the glory of the Emperor will emanate from her, and she will dazzle them with the holy presence.
Okay. Let's see. How did we write the power down again?
I believe it's a ranged effect against a will save.
Okay. Let me think. I can grab it here if it loads. Let's see. We have the Holy Presence, Dazzle 2, ranged cumulative affliction perception will save.
Right,
so
and an affliction 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone that can see it can has to roll a will save, at least the ones you target. In this case, so that's 3 of them remaining, and I will roll a will save for that. Yeah, it's made it affliction 5.
Yep.
You said so that makes the DC
Yes.
15. Meaning one of them makes it, 2 of them don't, and then so 2 of them become dazzled, which was a combination of dazed and hindered, I believe.
Dazed, stunned, and then paralyzed,
Okay.
depending
Dazed
on
and
the
paralyzed.
levels of failure.
Yeah. So one of them has 12 against 15 is 1 degree. Both of them is 1 degree. So they're both
Okay.
dazed.
Correct. All right.
And they're covering their eyes.
What does Sofenia look like as she dazzles everyone?
She, in the power armor, she has these. They almost look like large wax seals with strips of a cloth parchment, and there are prayers written on them, and the writing on them just begins to glow, and it is just overwhelming. And you can hear her voice, and they say that the Sisters of Battle speak like angels when they recite these prayers, and it's not just a single tone, but it's like a choir of voices speaking.
Nice. So, next up, the initiative. Kifkin. You smell smoke and brimstone.
Yeah, and ozone. So as he's tucked away at the entrance of this tunnel, our crimson-robed, slightly portly fellow, carrying way too much ordnance than is necessary, takes his care package and pistol in hand, and rushes down this tunnel, hoping he doesn't need his med pack on his belt. And I believe that's one hell of a haul, so I think that's his entire turn.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Unless you want to melee, in which you can combine a charge, but that's...
No. We're not going to charge anyone in close combat while we still have the care package.
Yeah. Okay. Now, where did I hide my Twitch? somewhere. I have too many screens up. There we go. Oh, yeah. Thank you for the subscription, Maladio. Just so I heard something, so I wanted to check it. So you run up, still hidden from sight, and then the next step. We go back to the top. Matilda, you are heavily wounded. You can only take one action this turn, and there is, I think, set. There's 3 still in combat, of which one has their gun over the barricade.
So these 2 smoking wounds in her chest, having kind of knocked her half over, she straightens up and she's gonna do another scream. But can I do it? I know she can't. She's at half movement. Can I just move it so that she's like half climbed over the barricade to try and get eyes on as many of those people, and she's taken a step away from Sefenia and Vasily in the attempt to not hit them, but Matilda's just screaming into the void, so...
Yeah, so the scream is basically 360 degrees around you, anyone that can see you. So,
well, she moved a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you could jump over the barricade and lie down, but then you'd need to move and make an action, and you only got one action. So normally the move is one action, and then so unless there's.
Can I spend my last hero point to give Matilda the bolster to get over, and then I'll just continue the staggered and dazed the other side?
Yeah. So what you can do with your hero point as well is you can take extra effort, which anyone can take. I think, you can take it at any time, which will make you fatigued. And if you take it again, it will make you exhausted. Both of them are pretty severe for your combat ability. And with the hero points, you can buy that away, giving you extra effort, which means you can take an extra action.
Okay.
And there's some alternatives as well. So you could take the extra action to move.
That. Yeah, I'll spend that so I move over the barricade just into the middle mass of bodies and still living soldiers and just scream again.
All right.
And I'll make the roll. Hopefully I can scream again, otherwise she's about to get real shot.
So basically you put the barricade 17. In between you and your party.
Yes.
All right.
And she's only short, so it's alright guys, she's only short.
So you
like
you
5'2" on a tall day.
17, I believe.
Yep, 17. Yep.
17. That means it goes through, and they have to roll.
Save against 5.
Yeah. So first they roll to see if they can roll against half damage. Yes, all of them can, and then they have to make a toughness against the damage. Of which 2 of them easily resisted, but the third. He goes down and blood starts to seep from his ears and eyes as he falls to the floor. And that was the one that was holding the gun at the barricade.
Okay. Yay!
Which means next up is Vasily and the 2 that are now ready, starting to ready their weapons and stand up. And I'll let you go first. So in case you can take these 2 out, then you can save you and/or Matilda from one shot. Or actually, we have Sefenia there as well, and we have you at the barricade as well. So.
I'd like to get up close and personal. Is there any way that I can hop the barricade to use my chainsword on one of these poor bastards?
Yes. You can use your move action to go over the barricade, and since you were already close, you don't need to take an extra action for that. And you can attack one of them.
Sounds good to me. Chainsword it is.
All right. Roll me an attack.
Will do.
They have a
defense
of 14, so you need to beat 14.
The bonus that I get for close combat with chain weaponry is plus 15. Am I fishing for a nat 1 here?
No, you're not getting my net one. No, I saved that for the next scene.
Alrighty. Well, as an entertainment exercise, that's an 18.
18. You get that high a bonus?
Yep, plus 15 because I've pumped 12 ranks into close combat with chain weaponry.
Yeah. Just be aware that we do have the power level limits, meaning you need to balance the attack with the damage. And I think we cap out at double power level for that, giving you a maximum combined score of 10. So either 10 attack
10.
and 0 damage, or 5 and 5, or any combination of that.
I see.
So that would cap out at plus 10 and give you a damage rank of 0, or the other way around. Normally, with damage weapons, I take the damage rank as the thing determining the max attack.
I see. So let's go ahead and retroact a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make it a plus 7, so that'll be, plus 8. So that'll be 11, which would be a
which would
14 at that point, right?
14. Yeah, 14 will hit.
Right. So throttle back a little bit.
Yeah.
Not as insane, but still.
And that and the damage rank would end up being
2, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, let me just roll against that. With a plus 6, giving him 18, with the DC being 17, he the chainsword, it shrugs off the armor. It clangs and it makes a lot of noise, but they're wearing SWAT armor, carapace. So,
good enough.
Yep. All right. Next up is the one standing in front of you, and he tries to hit you.
Big mistake, but okay.
For a 22.
What have I got? That nat 20, the hero point, and 2 points in luck. You know what? He's just hitting me with his fist, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. Why not?
Okay. Then you get to roll against DC damage 2.
Damage 2. That's a toughness roll.
Yeah. And DC
minus
17 for no effects.
All right. And minus 1.
1. Yeah.
But so plus 4, I guess, overall, since I've still got the carapace armor on. Hiya!
Yeah.
15.
15. Giving you another minus 1. Putting you at minus 2 for the next.
Yes.
And the other one that is still in operation, he stands up. He has Matilda. He sees someone in power armor. Matilda, he doesn't perceive her as a threat, as she doesn't have any weapon in hand. So she will shoot at the onstorming warrior. Well, he will shoot, actually. That's unarmed. It's the same bonus. So 18. Does that hit?
With a dodge?
No,
Safenia.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So it is my toughness plus...
this is against your dodge. Because he first has
my
to
dodge.
hit you. Yeah.
Okay, so I have to roll for a dodge.
No, you add dodge to 10, just like in regular.
Oh, dodge
D20.
to 10. Okay.
So your dodge armor class.
Yep. Is 12, but I've got the impervious on the armor for protection 4.
That would.
Because I'm wearing plate armor.
Yeah, that will work against damage rank 2 or lower. Never does effect against you, and this is effect 4. So this will go through the impervious. Their unarmed attacks will not.
Okay, so that's she has a 12.
So you have plus 2 on your dodge.
Dodge, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that will hit. Then you can roll toughness against DC 19.
Okay. That's a 19.
Which means you take no damage. That's a good roll. Don't you have more bonuses from your toughness, from your armor?
I see. That's what I'm not sure of. That I've got the plate armor for 4, protection 4.
Yeah, so you get stamina plus armor bonus, which is 4, so you get plus 7 on toughness, but it doesn't calculate it on the sheet properly at the moment.
Okay.
So you add those two together to get toughness 7.
Okay. Toughness. So plus
with
7.
Matilda, I did it manually, the shield, so.
All right.
So that means
so it's 23 then.
It just bounces off your armor. It does not get through. Giving us, let's see, which means you are also next up.
How far away is he from me at the moment?
You moved up into the hallway, right? Correct?
Oh yes, yeah. She moved forward.
So he is 1 move away.
Then she's going to move up to him and said, "The Emperor may bless you," and take his head with the power sword.
All right. Roll me an attack.
All right. Okay. Wait.
He tries to dodge it, so the DC it's 14.
I don't know why it seems to be rolling, but it's not showing up. Was it?
Is it in the
13
box?
plus a 3? No, that's just it was in the box. It's just. I honestly don't know.
Let's see if my roll does work.
All right, let's try this again.
You can always type it in as well if the dice are being finicky.
Yep. So it's slash die 1d20.
Yep, plus whatever your modifier is.
Yeah.
So that's 18 plus 3, 21.
21. That will definitely hit it. What's the effect rank?
The effects rank is... Sorry, I'm flipping between sheets here. Effects rank is 7.
7.
It's power
so
7.
He will have to resist against DC 22 for no effect, but he has armor on, which he
It's also penetrating 3.
Okay, that means that it will easily penetrate impervious toughnesses and immunities. So he doesn't roll high enough. You do get him on the shoulder, but it goes into the shoulder pad, just a little bit too low, and it does wound him, but he is still standing.
She's going to stay in melee with him. She's pretty much physically putting herself between him and the Inquisitor.
Yeah. Okay. Kifkin.
Yes. Now that we're there. So there's just one guy left?
I think we have 2. One at Jason and one at Sefenia.
And they're both in melee combat. Okay. So hop the barrier. I guess it's Power Maul time. So the one fighting Vasily, since he definitely looks the most winded, we will attempt to swing at.
All right. First, I will roll a perception for the both of them. They both have not spotted you, which means they have half defenses against you because they're already engaged in combat. Otherwise, you could have ambushed against defenseless.
Okay, so 10.
A 10. Their DC is now 12, so that just misses.
All right. Yeah, not used to swinging this thing.
Mm-hmm. So, for the rest of you, Kifkin jumps over the barricade and has this huge power maul, but he swings and just hits air. So that brings us back to the top, Matilda.
So how many standing do we have? Any?
Two of them, and they're engaged in melee with Vesely and Svenja. You are in between them.
Can I safely move away from here or no?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna proceed down the tunnel, away, kind of scouting ahead, having faith that her crew can deal with 2 Arbites.
Okay.
Keeping an eye out, obviously, for the runners who did get away previously, if there are any of those still standing up around here. But she'll remain unarmed as she is still at half movement because she's staggered and dazed.
Yeah. Okay. So you go. You get to move up 1 range band from the combat, meaning you are no longer close to the other 2. And that brings us
She'll
to
hang close to the wall.
Vesely, together with the 2 remaining SWAT officers.
Okay. Chain weaponry didn't work out as well. I'm gonna go back to the old standbys. Is there any way I can angle this without hitting Svenja? Like, angle the heavy flamer, or is this just like, sorry?
Actually, you can angle it. Yeah, basically you can step towards the right, just beyond him, and fire back into the hallway where you came from, because Matilda is ahead of you, just in range of the flamer. Svenja is on the other side of the hall, and Kifkin is right next to... which one did you pick? The one adjacent?
The one that was by me.
By Vasily.
It's going to be 50-50 if you hit Kifkin or not with a flamer.
Sorry. Sorry, friend. I just go ahead and...
He's tough. He can take it.
Move it and just shrug and let loose.
All right. On an odd, it hits Kifkin. If on an even, it doesn't. It doesn't hit Kifkin. So
see?
It goes through the guy and bounces off the wall into the hallway. And then he tries to dodge out of the way. Which he manages to do. Means he rolls against half damage.
Point of luck to make him re-roll that.
Yeah, sure.
And take the worst result.
Take the worst. Yeah, which means he fails. He has to roll against the full damage. At a -2 already. Means he goes up in flames. Pretty much incinerated on the spot. As he... yeah, goes up. The other one, but as he goes up in flames, he does get a swing at you as you're equal on initiative. And there's also one attacking Svenja. They both try to melee. The melee against Svenja, it just bounces off your armor, as if he even hits. I'll try to hit you though. With the first one being, he misses you. But the one against Jason crits.
Okay.
Meaning there's a +5 on effect. In this case, keep it simple.
All right.
With a flaming hand, he punches you in the face, and you get to roll toughness against a DC of 7 instead of 2.
Hiya!
At least damage of 7, meaning the DC is 22 for no damage.
22 for no damage. 15 plus 5 is 20. Minus 2 is 18. I think.
18. That puts you just within the first degree of failure, giving you another -1 as well.
I'm just racking those up. Yay! So I'm at -3 now for toughness.
Yeah. Just
great.
And I think, the -1 is as normal. No days there. Just all right. Next up, Svenja, if I'm correct. Am I correct, Svenja?
Yes.
You have the last remaining.
She looks down at him and says, "Rejoice, for I bring you glorious news. God walks among us." And then she's going to try once more to take his head.
All right.
And can I use a hero point to reroll that?
You can, but it's the last guy standing against the three of you. So it's. Do you want to spend it on this guy?
I want to
who
take
can't
his
hurt
head.
you?
Yeah, you already
Yeah.
said the badass words. Like you've got
That's true.
to. You're contractually obligated at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you can use it to reroll and add 10 if it's below 10.
Yeah, it's below 10, so that's 16.
Yeah, that hits. Giving he has to roll toughness now against effect 7, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he already has some penalties. The DC is 22 as well, which he fails to make. And describe how you take his head.
There's a flare from the texts as she says the words, and it almost seems to kind of engulf the sword, and it's just a clean, almost like an executioner's strike across the neck.
All right.
And then she steps over him and the barricade and continues down the hallway.
All right. That concludes this combat. We have the Matilda limping ahead, trying to limp ahead, but you can easily catch up with her. The hallway goes on for quite a while before you see anything other than the hewn out stone. And you have the straggler, which Charlie told to run. Are you gonna kill him?
Matilda told.
If you do-
Charlie didn't.
Oh, Matilda, yeah. Are you gonna kill him when you spot him? Because I'll just keep it simple if you do.
Ideally, yes. Just shoot him as he runs.
Okay. Then it's...
Or I guess I could use like a psychic jab. Because I don't have my gun out. So.
Yeah.
In fact, Donnie has my gun. I didn't even have my gun.
Mm-hmm. We'll just let you kill him
Okay.
to keep it simple for now. And one thing to know for everyone about damage recovery, unless you have regeneration, you recover a -1 penalty every minute. And also the dazed, staggered, it also recovers every minute. And any worse than that, you need to take complications to heal.
All right. So with the -3 penalty that I had, it's just waiting to catch your breath for 3 minutes and then sort of go on.
Over 3 minutes. But it's you could take a moment to calm down. It's gonna take at least 5 minutes of walking in this hallway before you find anything. So that will put you all at -0. The penalty is more of a cinematic hindrance in actual combat rather than actual wounds.
Okay. I want to take the head that Sifenia lopped off and keep it as like a surprise grenade for anybody we come across.
Like a hot potato, just throw a head at someone.
Yeah, pretty much. Like something that's disconcerting enough to like, I'll just look at it and just say,
You are my little chaos demon. Can confirm.
Yeah.
Emperor, protect us from zealots.
do not shirk, do not falter. Give them death and nothing but. And I hook it onto my belt. And you notice that even though he's bald and like like a little bit sallow, because I think he's not doing so well, like doing so hot in this atmosphere, like his eyes sort of gleam through the gas mask, and his sort of more spider-like qualities come out as he sort of stomps around the battlefield, like very, very skitterish. So
the four of you have, if you just continue down the hallway, you easily catch up with Matilda, who's taking, well, you're going to be at -2 if you don't take a moment to rest once you enter the next scene, because you have two, you have staggered and days to heal up first.
Yeah, she was going to stop and rest. She was just checking on stragglers and moving away from immediate danger.
Pope, you want to say
Yeah,
something?
I could give you a dose of stim. Pop up?
I think perhaps you should keep a hold of that. We may need that further down.
Okay.
But keep it handy. I just need a few moments and then we should push forward. Time is running out.
Yeah.
And we are not subtle. Ever.
No.
And she'll turn and she looks at the three of you, assessing your general condition. Push on. I'll catch up. Because she's going to need like 10 minutes, I think, to get there, so...
Yeah.
But then she'll be good to go again.
Yeah, there's no one took any permanent wounds. Some bruising. Your skin does hurt a lot, but it's not going to limit your combat ability.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you get shot in a Kevlar suit, you get real nice winded and bruised, but...
Do I notice that the Inquisitor does not have a weapon on her, does not have her gun with her?
I have my sword.
Would you like my hell pistol?
No, I do not care for guns. Thank you, Sylvania.
Very well. Then she'll keep moving.
Besides, you are my weapon.
As the Emperor wills.
I guess
As
I'll scout
indeed
ahead.
he does. Go ahead, Kipkin.
And he slips into the darkness.
Bastion, the way the wall is there a way to... Does it curve again at all? Is it like an even, smooth concrete wall, or is it a rocky wall?
It's a rocky wall. It's
Right.
hewn out, and where the rock is too dense, there's been signs of explosions digging.
So I think she's going to bunker down briefly to kind of catch her breath and recenter herself in the little kind of recessy half-cover type situation, and she'll let the rest move on.
All right. So anything else you guys would like to tell each other on the way?
I imagine that Vasily is just sort of like humming or otherwise sort of absent-mindedly whistling like the Stroyan war hymn in his mind, and sometimes out of it. Just making that slight bit of noise that echoes down the chamber as he walks.
All right. Okay. Let's move ahead. So as you walk at a certain after about 5 minutes of walking down the corridor, the cave ends at a familiar gray concrete-like material, like a straight wall. And where the hallway ends, you see that the excavation took a turn left and right, but continuing further along the left than the right. If you follow that, it opens into a hallway, at least 100 meters long, of the straight grayish concrete walls with no inscriptions, just a square tunnel. And at the end, you can see, if you look down it, there's a red glow coming from probably a larger room.
All right, everyone. It looks dangerous. I look to Stefania. You go first.
She kind of gives him a look like, yeah, okay, this is when the zealot doesn't want to be so zealot, such a zealot, and she will just continue striding forward. She's got the sword out, and she's ready to go.
All right.
I catch up just as soon, like laughing at my own joke, like side by side.
So, as you walk down the hallway, the cave opens up. You look into the room and you see a gigantic hall, what must have been at least 100 meters wide and deep. The ceiling disappears into the darkness. There's steps leading down from this hallway onto a flat floor, and you can make out markings on the floor. But the patterns on the floor are obscured by what must be over 300 humans, all of them kneeling, naked, and murmuring something. They're arranged in circles around a square pedestal, 30 feet across. On top of this pedestal stands a man with brown beard, brown hair, waving in wind, which is not there. He has an intricate staff in his hand and is waving it around. And there's a glow running along the inscriptions on the staff. And now I need to... What did I want to grab? Oh yeah, I want to show you how the room looks. And you'll have to look at the VMix for that. So this is how roughly the room looks. My awesome painting skills, drawing skills.
And we're entering from where?
From below.
So
there is a hallway opening up. There's steps leading down to a flat floor, and the big circle is the inscriptions on the floor. And the pedestal in the middle, I'll also bring it up, is something akin to this. And on the top of this stands a man with brown hair. And Jason, as soon as you move up, you recognize him as Cornelius.
Ah, damn it. I want to throw the head at him right now. Like, can I just lob the head at him?
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you could do whatever you want.
Yeah, at that point, like, I'm so disgusted with myself for not just killing this person right off the bat that I just grab the head and chuck it, like, at him.
Roll me a ranged attack roll.
Sure.
Throwing, actually. Which is, if you have dexterity, you can roll dexterity, and if you have throwing, you can roll throwing.
Aha, that's funny. This is a straight roll. Hiya. I've got the hero point, I've got luck, and I've got that little lovely natural 20 right up there. Ooh, do I want to use it now? As much as I would love to, as much as I feel...
You just threw a head at a person. You gotta make this work.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I'll use the hero point. So that means I can roll again and add 10 to the result, right? Yeah. If it's below 10. Yes. Hiya. 19!
Yeah, with a head.
All right. You throw it, and it goes in a great arc. It's 50 meters across, but somehow you manage to hit him. And as he will have to roll... it's not the SWAT officer, but he rolls that 20 on his toughness. But what you see is it actually bounces off in the air before it reaches him. Of some invisible barrier.
I'm going to immediately yell out to him, "Coward!"
And as you do, he looks up at you, smiles, says several words, and all of a sudden, the 300 that were more than 300 that were sitting down, they stand up and they start to fight each other. And you can all roll initiative if you want.
I love watching Pope when we do stupid shit. Just the journey of expressions that happens is magical.
5.
I gotta grab my character sheets. Here they are.
5.
And he's gonna go
But I'm also down the corridor, so I've got a way to come yet.
Yep. And there we go. I have too many windows. All right. So you are lucky. Cornelius rolls a 4 and has 4. Matilda, you at 5?
I'm at 5.
Plus 12, so you get 17.
Oh, I'm still on plus 12?
Yeah, that's a permanent bonus, but it's flavored in the way
I'm
where
at 5.
you sense incoming combat. Vesely at 5.
My blood senses are tingling.
Stefania.
Stefania's at 10.
Vesely at 10. And Kifkin, you're right behind the two of them.
Kifkin is at 18.
18, okay.
Nice. Kipkin is ready.
Kifkin is ready. Kifkin, you are the first to notice what is that everyone is starting to fight each other. You, with your immaculate counting skills, notice that there are 333 people on the ground. The machine calculator that you have in your head already did the math there. And you can roll me any occult thing you have, just out of intuition.
So many occult things, just so many. We'll go with just straight up magic.
Yeah.
That's a 22.
A 22. A 22 will tell you that they're doing a ritual of some sort. And it's one thing you notice with that is that you see the 2 blue circles with the line across on the left and the right.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is glowing red, and the other is has no glow on it. There's more inscriptions closer, but it's like an energy feed, and one of them is off.
That would mean something, but right now that the thoughtful part of Kifkin's brain is gone away. Right now it's more along the lines as he's going into himself. He's absent-mindedly grabbed hold of care.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing this and want to do 2 things.
Yeah.
First is just everything is just gone to hell. Just sneak through all of this like destruction, grand melee, whatnot. Just disappear, and then off to the corner of the one that is red. Over by that hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Just set the care package down and begin the rite of obliteration as he sets care package to detonate within the next 10 minutes.
Okay. The orange big circle is about 80 meters across. So it's going to take you 2 movements to get up to the point where you want to place it.
I would like to spend that hero point for extra effort.
Okay. To get extra effort without any consequences.
Yeah, without consequence, just chug.
And then you can roll me demolition or technology to set your timer correctly.
I will roll technology.
Yeah.
23.
What exact time do you want?
Going to give this 10 minutes.
Okay.
Just cause it gives me enough time to run away.
Yeah, and you move in between the fighting naked people. It's mixed. A lot of them are trained. A lot of them are not. Most of them are bald.
Yeah, get down with your coordinate selves. I'm gonna blow you all up here in a minute.
Okay, so after Kifkin, we get Matilda. Matilda, if you run, you can act in this combat on the next round.
Okay. Yeah, I think she hears the sounds of violence.
Yeah.
and innately knows that is going on, and she's gonna just start running.
Okay. All right. Next up, Safenia. Everyone has started fighting. You see some blood being drawn here and there. They're in a frenzy.
They don't matter at the moment. The one, you cut the head off the snake. And so she's just pushing her way through the crowd to get to the man on the pedestal.
Okay.
She has no idea who he is, but he's obviously the head of the snake.
Yeah, you can use your move and your normal action to reach him.
Okay.
And you can actually, if you're moving in relatively straight line, use the charge action, which gives you 1 attack at -2 penalty.
All right, she'll take it. She's got the power sword, so.
So that's
a 15.
Is that minus
15?
the penalty? Minus the penalty makes it 13, which will... And I need to make sure I keep this one up now. There we go. Which makes a hit. Well, your effect is 7, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and he will roll to resist it. Meaning he gets a -1 penalty. As you strike him, you feel some form of immaterial resistance as you approach him, and you only manage to graze him. You do draw blood.
That's a start.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just reciting prayers at this point. It's just it's if you've heard Gregorian chant, that's what it is. It's a chant.
Okay. Then next up, I need to make this easier on myself. There we go. Drop this there. Just making my arrangement a little bit quicker. Next up is Vesely. Vesely, you just throw it through the head, and now something else is happening.
Great. So, wait a minute. Even though I rolled a straight up 5, I'm next?
He rolled a 4.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
Poor dude. I'm assuming there's nothing in ecclesiarchal lore that would, or even in Adeptus Militarum history, that would suggest maybe what to do in this situation?
No.
Of course not.
The thing you know about this is pray and get the proper authorities. That's all you know.
Well,
Kifkin did inform you when he performed his ritual to perceive things. Kill the head cultist.
I'll follow Safenia then and try to go, just try to go ahead if that's at all possible. Just literally weave in and out and just go for Cornelius. I'm gunning for him.
Yeah, you can also take a charge action if you want, or just move straight up. That's up to you.
Charge, yeah.
Okay. Then you can make 1 attack at -2 penalty.
Alrighty, fantastic. Flamer, please.
Alright. Then you don't need to roll an attack, but I'm gonna give him a bonus on his resistance because
Sure.
you're charging ahead. So he also his resistance, and he takes another -1.
Good.
The flame it does hit the barrier, which is like a bubble around him, and dissipates a lot, but it's still making a lot of heat. And you're next to Safenia now. You feel the heat as well, Safenia, but it's correctly aimed for now. Bringing us to Cornelius. Cornelius, the other tab. I have it open this time. What shall I use? What shall I use? Oh, actually, he doesn't take damage from you. The orb actually absorbs all the fire. Yeah, I'm sorry. It actually
that just means I don't have enough.
It dissipates on the barrier because I did give him immunity to fire.
Again, that just means I don't have enough. I need more.
Yeah. Cornelius, he starts chanting. He turns around and points at one of the fighting members, the fighting naked people, and some form of energy. It's very faint, comes out of his staff, goes towards the cultists, and he does that to 5 of them. And what you see happening is they stop fighting. They fall to the ground, and you do see some transformation starting, and that ends his turn. Bringing us back to the top. And the top being Matilda. No, Kifkin.
He's finishing up the rite, and by the blessings of the most holy and revered Omnissiah, I grant all of ye unworthy heretics the right of obliteration. May all of your ills be cleansed by the Omnissiah's most holy of explosions. And with that, he has set the care package. He is going to turn, see what's going on. Does he see the transformations?
Yes. So you're on the left, if I'm correct. In the circle.
I'm on the far left. Yeah.
Yeah. He's on top of the pedestal. The other 2 are on the south of the pedestal, just hitting him, and he aimed north.
Okay.
So the 5 are north of him, and they're scattered with a couple of meters in between each.
But Kifkin sees the transformations happening.
Starting, yeah.
Really, we're invoking demons right now. No. Okay, we're doing this. And he pulls the Inferno pistol and pulls the trigger, lines up a shot, trying to get as many of those transforming at once, and just goes, Corn cares not from where the blood flows, just the blood flows, but I don't need bloodletters in my summoning circle right now. So, no? Bye.
I'm gonna roll a d4 to see how many you hit. You hit 1.
Okay.
You obliterate 1. As he's pulling at his flesh, he burns up in the fire of the Inferno pistol.
22.
Do you move anywhere, or do you stay here?
Yeah, he is going to get halfway back to where he once was, as he is just booking it, because he knows how big this explosion is going to be.
Okay. Then next up is Matilda, and you arrive at the opening, and you see this going on. You have did we give you occult?
I have warp knowledge. Knowledge of the warp.
You can roll me. You can roll okay. Me. And DC. I'll have a
natural one.
How should I describe this?
I would like to use my last bit of luck control so that Matilda can re-roll that.
Just watch they roll another one.
Okay.
Don't.
You roll another
just
one.
Don't, please.
You should re-roll as if a hero point was used.
15.
That's not a 1. It has a 1, but it's not a 1.
That gives you a total of 23, if I'm correct. Or that's...
what are we adding to it?
Your knowledge warp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus 8.
Glance,
yes.
At a glance, you recognize this as some form of ritual, and judging by the arrangement, it is focused on opening something or disabling something.
Okay.
And then you can take your action if you want.
Perception-wise, do I see dude up on the pedestal
Yes.
who is causing all of this?
Yeah, you remember him from the mind of the heretic.
Yeah.
Who possessed.
From my dude's
But
brain.
he's a lot more energetic, and the staff he has in hand, it is magical in a way as well. You instantly recognize that it's channeling his powers.
How far away is he from me?
He's 50 meters from you,
Okay,
so that's
quite a
2
long
range
way.
bend.
2 range.
Yeah.
Alright, sure. She's gonna try and go straight into his brain with a jab.
All right.
If she can interrupt and break his focus, that's what she's gonna try and do. She's just gonna act quick to try and stop this. So that's what she's gonna try. 27 on the attempt. Oops, didn't mean to drop that again. Nat 1 for whatever that is.
Yeah, you didn't need to roll a second time, I think,
Yeah,
because it
Just
died,
dropped
so.
the dice by accident and it rolled again.
So
But
you jab, and he will roll toughness against your effect 5, and he matches, so he takes no damage. Wait, he's on a -1, so he takes another -1, because he gets 20 total.
okay.
And the DC is 20 for no effect, with the -1 makes 90. What you notice is the barrier, it is psychic energy. He's keeping this up himself, and as you try to pierce it, it's very hard to pierce through, but you manage to get through and at least wound him a little bit. And that brings us
Good start.
down to Sefenia. Sefenia, he
Have a
has his
door.
back turned on you.
Oh, his back is to me? Oh, let's take... She's going to keep swinging that sword. That's what she does. Oh, that's a 16, I believe.
Yeah, a 16. That will hit. He isn't. He is aware that you're hitting, but he's almost ignoring your hits. So he will have to resist against DC against your damage 7 again. If I'm correct.
Mm-hmm. Yep, power 7.
And he has +8 with the -2. He's gathered, which he easily makes. So you hit him, but the sword, it just deflects mid-air as you try to hit him.
Can I aim for his staff?
Yes, if you can actually try a disarm action.
Yeah,
But it would be on your next turn.
it's turn. Right. Okay.
And the next up is Vesely.
Okay, so the sword. Do I notice that the sword is doing nothing? Question mark? Or
You do notice that she aimed true, but it just got the complete force of the strike got absorbed midair.
did it happen to do anything consciously towards this Cornelius?
Before
Like-
she managed to graze him with the tip of the sword and wound him, but it took a lot of effort. And
I wanna try
you
and-
know that the flamer just dissolved into this orb.
I want to tackle him and wrestle him to the ground.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You can try that. For that, you will have to make an unarmed attack.
Okay, if
And then
I-
if you hit, you do a contested fighting or athletics.
Okay, with the ranks that I took out of chain weaponry, can I apply those to like close combat for brawling or something like that, or
Sorry,
would this
say
be
it again?
literally? Yeah.
I missed it.
So I obviously took out some ranks in chain weaponry during our last encounter. If I applied them to a new close combat thing, like brawling or something like that, would that count?
Yeah, you can.
All right. So let's say, I don't know, 5 ranks in brawling?
Well, calculate it after, but 5 is fine.
Sure.
So, grab is a standard action in which you attempt to grab a target. Make an attack check against the target. If successful, the target makes a resistance check against your strength or the rank of a grabbing effect if you have a special power for it. Using the better strength or dodge. If you win with 1 degree of success, he is restrained. 2, he is bound. And bound means he is defenseless, immobile, and impaired.
You can stop reading all that. I got a natural 1. So, right. Yeah.
As you lunge for him, you actually you trip over the last step of the altar and fall prone at his feet.
Sure.
Thank you. And then I don't know where I hit my initiative because I do know he's up next.
Yeah.
So, next up, Cornelius. First thing you notice is that the 4 remaining transforming persons, one of them has his skin has pretty much opened up and he fell dead on the floor. Not surviving. 3 of them are starting. One of them is starting to form horns. 2 of them haven't formed horns yet, but they're still transforming. They're slightly larger as well. The 3 that have survived, at least 1 head larger than they should be. And Cornelius himself, he turns back. He stares at Matilda, and he says, "First, I will stop your pet." And he aims his staff at Sefenia. And Sefenia, you can make me. Oh wait, I think I have to hit for this. Yeah, I have to roll in the box. Is a 10 enough to hit you? I don't think it is, right?
Can't hear you, Kat.
Sorry, no, I don't believe it is.
Okay. Then he doesn't hit you. And you feel a wave of foul energy coming over you, but it goes past you. And it puts us back to the top. To Kifkin.
All right. Moving back towards the entrance, so he should be there with his move.
Yep. You can get next to Matilda, or
is speaking a free action in this game?
Yes.
Matilda
as long as it's within 6 seconds.
Yeah, Matilda would like to reply, "That is not the pet you need to worry about." And that's it. Please carry on, Kipkin.
With that, he just kind of realizes and then goes, "Okay." Just swings around and fires the Inferno pistol.
At the altar.
Yep.
What damage type is it?
Damage is Melta, so it might be fire. I don't know.
I made it Holy Fire, actually, if I'm correct.
Inferno pistol. No, you just listed it as fire.
Okay. Then, as you fire, just at Cornelius.
No, not at Cornelius, because I'm not that good a shot. Instead, he's actually going to try and fire past Cornelius and all those fighting and hit the altar.
Okay. Then I will allow Vesely and Sefenia to make a dodge roll. If you make it, you don't have to roll toughness. If you don't make it, you take half damage. As he's not aiming for you, but there's fire coming at the altar.
6 plus 7, so 13?
13, no. Sefenia. Also, no.
Yeah.
Both of you have to roll toughness against the half strength of the Melta incinerator, which is 3. So you roll against 3, 18 for no effect.
Yeah. 19.
19.
No, 16.
16. So, Sefenia, Jason, you just shrug off the heat. It burns, but you don't have hair, so it doesn't really affect you at this point.
Yeah, Vasily doesn't care.
Yeah, and
He likes
Sefenia, your armor does catch fire in spots, and you take a -1 on toughness.
Okay.
Then the altar itself, it's the waterproofing. When you waterproof a tent and water falls on it, it just drips off. That's what's happening here. The Melta, as it hits the altar, it just shatters like hot metal on a floor and dripples down without affecting the stone.
Is magma phobic?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anything else you'd like to do? I think you.
Seeing that, he now has an idea of what to do next, and he's just going to quickly and quietly look over to the Matilda and goes, "We've got 10 minutes. We should be running."
You can tell them that. And she's looking at Vasily and Sefenia.
Okay.
All right. So next up is Matilda.
Alright, she's gonna try and buy her team some time to get out here. And she's gonna keep poking the Psyker. Yeah, I take it there's no other Psyker pinging her right now. Would I need to do something additional to find that out? Because she's looking for someone else she doesn't recognize.
Yeah. If you could use your power to look into the other realm to see what's happening there, that would take an action.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna keep poking the other Psyker in the brain.
Yeah. So you don't have to roll. You only have to roll to see if it works, which it does.
Works.
And then he has to resist heal, which he rolls a 2 for, giving him a 12 against effect 5. If I'm correct.
Yes, 5.
Okay, 5. Let me just grab the sheet here. Meaning he will take quite a bit of damage here. Where did I hide it? Oh, yeah, over you.
Brain battle engaged.
Brain battle engaged. Effect 5, he gets a 12, meaning he gets a -2 and dazed, putting him at -4 total, and meaning he can only take 1 action on his next turn. He can't move and act, or he can move. Moving us down to Sefenia.
She is going to try and get that. She wants to swing the sword at the staff. And try.
Yeah. So I looked up the disarm action for you.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Disarm is a standard action. You attempt to knock an item, such as a weapon or device, out of a grasp. Make an attack check against the defender with a -2 penalty. And if your attack succeeds, make an opposed check of your attack's damage against the defender's strength.
Okay.
So you get a 14 -2, putting you at 12.
12.
But he has a defense of 10. He has no active defenses. So that means you hit, and he has to... you make an opposed... did I say opposed? I think I did, right?
Yeah.
Opposed... check against defender strength. Your attack is +7, and his strength is, I think it's 0. So roll me 19 or higher.
All right. And I'm rolling strength or an attack?
The effect of your weapon, which is 7.
Okay.
Which means you tie.
Yep.
It doesn't say anything about the tie. Normally you need to beat, but I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it. You knock the staff out of his hands, and as soon as it drops out of his hands, the runes on it stop glowing. Do you want to move anywhere? Because she has still have your move action.
Can I move and kick the staff away off of the pedestal?
You can use your move to kick the object, yes.
Yep, that's what she's going to do then. She's just going to kick that staff as far away as she can.
Yeah. That means he can't pick it up because he only has 1 action on his next turn. So.
Yep.
The staff, it just clangs down to the lowest level, where one of the brawling folks picks it up and starts bludgeoning someone else with it. Because there's still hundreds of fighting, blood, teeth flying everywhere. They're unarmed, but they are fighting. That brings us to Vesely.
Okay, so do I see any shimmering anything around this Cornelius at this point?
Still there.
Still? Yep. Okay, good. Because I was about to go flamer again and run into that trap. So instead I'll just get up from prone and tackle him with the chainsword. Or swing with the chainsword.
Alright.
So it's not as impressive, but it's +9 total now. Because it's 6 ranks in it. I think that's how that works, right?
Yeah, the maximum combined is 10. So if you have
okay.
6 damage, you can have +4 on your attack, unless you use any of the advantages to trade.
All right, we'll do that then.
Yeah.
All right. Ha-ha. 7 plus 13?
4 now, correct?
Or 4, yes. Yeah. So 11.
Gives you 11. Yes. It does hit him. So he has to roll against effect 6. And he has a -4 penalty. He rolls a 23. Against 6 is 21 for no effect. So you try to hit him, and again, the force just veers off your strike, so it misses him.
This is getting tiring, but yeah, fine.
All right. Do you want to move?
No, I'm going to stay in combat with this guy until he falls.
That makes it Cornelius' turn. He doesn't have his staff. He's standing here, and he will try to touch Sefenia. Does an 18 hit you?
I believe I have 17. Yeah, I think it does. I believe I have 17. Okay.
As he touches you, you feel all the runes on your armor. They just they become angry by the vile forces that come over you, and you have to roll me a fortitude save.
Okay.
Against DC 20, and for every point that you are under it, you get -1 on intellect. And if you hit -5, you go down.
Can I use my last luck to reroll this?
Yes, you can.
Because the Emperor protects.
The Emperor does protect. Don't get touched by the Psyker.
22.
A 22. You get a massive headache, and you feel like your prayers you've had earlier today have saved you from a certain knockout.
She gets very, very grumpy.
You won't like me when I'm angry.
Yes.
That concludes his turn. But the melee, about half of the hundreds that were fighting are dead now, with caved-in heads, cracked necks, broken bones all over. One of them is holding a heart up in his hand and screaming, trying to eat it. Yes. The tree that we're transforming, two more of them have died. One of them basically split in half, still twitching halves. The one that formed the horns, though, he has transformed into what some of you might recognize as a... Where is my picture? Where's my picture? Here's my picture. There's my picture. Into this.
Oh.
I've seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A flaming
I've killed these
sword
before.
is forming in his hand as his turn ends.
Where's my file? Wrong character.
Cornelius smiles as his attack failed to grab a hold of Sylvania. And that concludes his turn, putting us back on top with Kifkin.
Yeah, that's a bloodletter. Okay.
Yes, it is.
So, I would suggest a staggered retreat at this point, as he just stares quickly over at the care package and then back at the bloodletter. Going to fire at the bloodletter and then book it.
Okay. Your fire, he absorbs it. You sear a line to him, but it looks like he's now fueled by the fire.
You were supposed to work on blood and skulls, not fire. Okay, well, I'm going to have to update the programming as well as the Adeptus primer. New news. All right, bye. And just hauls it away, going back up the cavern as he knows there's not time.
All right. Then Matilda.
Matilda would like to have a parting shot, and then she's going to book it after Kipkin.
Who are you shooting at? The blood
Cornelius.
or
Cornelius.
Cornelius.
She's not worried about the baby demon. Baby demon, she is imagining is about to go goodbye based on what Kipkin's doing. Natural 20 on my willpower test.
All right. Which one were you aiming at? The
Cornelius.
Cornelius. All right. He will try to resist.
She hasn't been told otherwise. She's going to keep making his brain go pop.
He has 4, putting him at 18, giving him another -1. Making him a -5. He's looking in a bad position by now. There's like a little bit of blood coming out of his nose after your attack, he's not looking too good anymore, despite his shield. That puts us next to Sylvania.
Sylvania's going to do what she always does. Now that she's gotten his attention, she's going to swing it. Now that she's gotten the staff away from him, she's going to go ahead and try to take his head once more.
All right.
So that's a 21.
Yeah, that will hit him.
There can be only one Stefania. Take his head.
So that means he has to resist damage 7 again. DC 22 for no effect at a -5 penalty. Giving him a roll of 10 total. And Charlie, if you can check what that donation is, that would be great. Giving a total
and it is
of
a
10.
penetrating of 3. Right, and it is a penetrating 3.
All right, thank you to 12 Side Guy for that 100-bit cheer.
Nice. Let's see. We'll go back to the chart because this is a crucial one. He rolls a 10 against effect 7, giving him an extra -3 with the house rules and staggered, making him at total -8 for +2 bonus, and he can only take one action on his turn and moves at half speed. So,
I look at Vasily and I say, do something this time.
and then Vasily is up.
Using that fucking nat 20 and shoving my chainsword down his neck.
All right. The nat 20 makes you auto-hit with a crit, and the crit allows you to do either +5 on effect or add an extra type of effect to the hit. I take the +5.
I'll take the +5 too.
Yeah. That means you don't need to roll, and your total damage will be 11, if I'm correct, with the 6 plus the 5.
Yes.
And he rolls at +2. He rolls 18. 18 against damage 11 will give him another -2 and another dazed. He is pretty much on his knees at this point. You managed to get a big gush out of his arm, and he is up next. What he will do? What do I want him to do? He looks up as you stabs your chainsword and says, "Join me." And you can roll me a will save against DC 15.
All right. Fuck.
That gives you a?
That gives me a 10.
A 10. A 10 against 15 makes you 2 degrees of failure, making you compelled until you break the hold. And you feel compelled to join in the slaughter downstairs on your next action. Then, next up, we go to a new round of combat, but this time I will roll initiative for a new guest. Giving him 12. Putting him at 14 with a +2. As the bloodletter completes forming the sword, which bursts into flames and joins the fray. Kifkin, you are halfway into the hallway. Muted.
Going to keep moving on as quickly as possible. Robe is just like billowing as he is moving quickly. He is taken out a las pack and a can of melta fuel, and is going to, as he is running, just jury-rigging this thing to, when he hopes to get to the mouth of this tunnel, to set this to just quick detonate behind him, causing as much of a collapse as possible.
Thanks, Kip.
And if he has any time, he's going to bless it. So this is going to take some time.
Where exactly do you do this? As soon as you're out of the hallway?
He is continuing. You said it took us 5 minutes to get here. That's why I put the timer on 10. So this is going to take him some time because he's jury rigging. So he's jury rigging essentially an explosive device, and then if he has any time with ritualist, he is going to bless this.
Okay.
So, using Inventor and Ritualist to essentially make a holy hand grenade. So when he gets to the mouth of the tunnel, where he originally came in from, he is going to toss this behind him. And cool guys, don't look at explosions because they're running away from everything.
If you take if you move at normal speed, you can do that on the way.
Yeah,
which will mean you will take 5 minutes to get up, which is about a lot of combat rounds. So we'll take you out of the initiative for now. Unless something happens which pulls you back in. Putting up Matilda. Matilda, you notice that Cornelius is weak. He's barely holding on.
She's leaving.
Yeah. Okay. You go after.
But if Kipken's running, that means he's probably set the bomb up, and she's not getting exploded by the bomb.
Right.
She's leaving behind 2 of her prime weapons to deal with this situation, and assuming they're going to be sensible enough to get the hell out of there when they're done.
All right. So you can go into a full run, which will give you double the speed.
Is there any way I can catch up to Kipken?
You can overtake him.
Right, because I want to catch up to him, and I want to steal his communications. Okay. Rip it out of his ear.
Yeah, you can just take the micro bead out of his ear.
Yeah.
Because Donnie has hers, and I can't afford for her to go out of her body right now to communicate with Donnie.
Yeah. So, well, for communication, you don't need to move out of your body. It just takes you an action.
It's fine. I'm just going to use this actual earbud, because then he's not going to resist me while I pop into his brain.
All right. That you can do that on your next action as you catch up and grab the bead. That moves us down to the Bloodletter. And the Bloodletter, he steps up to the pedestal. He's about twice as tall as you, Sylvania, and he tries to hit you.
Sure, why not?
For a 24.
Yes, that will hit.
All right. You can resist me damage 7. Fire and physical.
Okay. So this is a dodge?
Yeah, no, you just roll
toughness?
toughness. You just roll toughness.
Okay.
Against the DC 22 for no damage. And you get
that's
extra
actually
4.
Right, so that's actually a dirty 20.
All right. Meaning you take a -1 penalty on toughness.
Okay, so actually I have -2 now because that should be a 19. Okay.
Yeah, still within the 5. If you go to 2 degrees, you get -2 and dazed. So he hits you and it does penetrate your armor. It hurts, but you're still standing. And that moves us down to you.
I am a sister of battle.
Mm-hmm. And you're fighting the ultimate foe now.
Yes, I am. And Cornelius is the lesser threat at this moment. She's got this Bloodletter in front of her. I think she's just going to start. The chants get louder and the prayers start glowing.
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to she's going to use her holy presence on this creature.
All right. Which does, I don't have yours in front of me.
Let me open it back up again. It's
it's the dazzle.
Yep. Yeah. The
right.
dazzle too.
Yeah. So
all right.
This was an area attack, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
So he will have to roll a.
It's a will
dodge.
save.
Will save against the affliction. He does succeed at making it half effect, making it effect 2, and now he has to roll a will save. He fails by 1.
Okay. So that he's dazzled at the moment.
So the first degree is.
Oh, the first degree is dazed. Sorry.
Dazed. Oh, he's dazed. So he gets only 1 action on his next round. So if you move away, he cannot hit you again.
Okay. And she is going to do that. I'm assuming that she's aware that Matilda and Kipkin have booked it, knowing that the original plan was to blow this place.
If you look around, they are gone.
How far is Vasily from me?
Vasily is just below the way you came, fighting in the crowd, using his flamer as a stick, probably. But we'll let him describe that on his action.
All right, so she's going to move down off the dais, and as she goes by Vasily, she's just grabbing a hold of him like you would a toddler on the back of the shirt and dragging him behind her.
Yeah. All right. So you can get to him on your action, and on your next action, you can actually physically take him with you.
Okay.
Moving us down to Vasily, actually. Muted.
Okay. So is there any chance, like, I can snap out of this?
Yes. You can try to resist it. You can either spend a hero point. I think I need to take your crit, if I'm correct. You can spend a hero point to remove
don't have any.
the affliction. Then you can try to resist it. And you can just roll me another will save.
Here we go. Okay, that's actually kind of okay. 11 plus 7. So
7. Yeah, you managed to break out just as you use your flamer to club down one of the naked folks, and the blood rage that was in you now fades away, and Sylvania is standing in front of you.
Is that shield still around that bastard Cornelius?
His hair is still waving, but he is looking bruised and battered and bleeding.
Excuse me for a moment, and I'll step around her and just let a whole heavy flamer, like, blast go out to those two bastards.
Do you have...
You wish to die a martyr?
The shield is still there, but...
darn it!
I'll teach you something new about this system, which is if you use an extra effort, you can add a descriptor to an action, and for example, you could change your flamer damage from fire to holy.
I see.
So if you say the correct prayers, as if you were to flavor it,
as I snap out of this blood rage, as I sort of let the tattered portions of my mind kind of slip back and allow me to have this sort of moment of clarity. In the blazing furnace of battle, we shall forge anew the iron will of yet a stronger race. I growl and just sort of look to this daemon and this daemon worshipper and let holiness sort of spill out from the flamer.
All right. Taking the extra effort means you are now fatigued, which makes you half movement speed until you actually take a rest.
Good enough.
And with that, you do effect 8, if I'm correct.
Yes.
The first roll is the dodge roll for the bloodletter, and the second one is for Cornelius. The bloodletter just stands there, doesn't dodge it. Cornelius does dodge it, so he takes half damage. He rolls against effect 4, and the bloodletter against effect 8. Bloodletter rolls a nat 1. I will get to the result in a moment. And Cornelius rolls a 5. He is at a +2, meaning he has 7. Meaning he will go down. In this case, I can easily say that. And I will double check the bloodletter. Because he has a... touch the 7. He has 8 versus damage 8. Meaning he almost goes out. One more point and he would have gone out.
That's just...
It's on
I
the
don't
edge.
even... Yeah, I don't even cognizantly recognize it. These are all just now shapes and colors to me.
Yeah, so
like
Cornelius, he goes limp He was bruised, battered, almost dragging himself along, and he just falls to the floor, burning. The bloodletter, he catches fire, even though he shouldn't. And he takes a -3 on toughness, and he's staggered. And if he gets staggered again, he goes down.
Humanity, the Emperor be praised. And yeah, no, since I'm fatigued, I'm just talking out of my ass. I have no idea what I'm saying.
All right. Then, cinematically, Cornelius goes out, so that's who was next. But on his initiative, the fighting people, there's only a handful left, as the blood starts to draw into the symbols on the floor. And we go back to the top. Kifkin and Matilda are in the hallway. Matilda, Kifkin is just moving along with his stuff. Matilda, you now have comms. Muted.
She plugs it straight into her ear and just like the open team frequency, and she's like, Donnie, I need you to bring a car around very quickly. We are making a very hasty retreat. And she's hoping that Vasily and Svenja are going to clock this instruction also. And she's going to just keep running. Just keep going.
Okay.
So if Kipkin's running this quick, it means that shit is about to go real bad real quick, so
he acknowledges, Roger, I'll get right on it, and goes static again.
And
you keep running.
Turns her head and looks back as Kipkin is slowing because he's busy tinkering with this thing. He's Kipkin, what the hell are you doing?
I am making sure that whatever is being summoned, including that bloodletter, doesn't follow us. So that means I have to jury-rig a holy explosive to detonate the entrance of this tunnel. Also, that might give us more time, as the blast wave will probably collapse a good portion of this mountainside.
Good to know. And in her head, she's really hoping that the explosion's going to go off before that ritual, whatever the hell was going on, completes. And she hopes that she did enough to slow Cornelius in whatever ministrations he was making to make it go off. Because she doesn't entirely understand what was going on, just that stuff was going on.
Yeah, okay. So, next up, then, I'll get to that in a moment. Svenja. The bloodletter, he's burning with a bright, shining flame from Jason's incinerator, who stood up bravely against it. Cornelius is down on the down and not moving anymore. What do you do?
And Vasily's gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah,
correct.
I will actually give you a hero point to trigger one of your complications, where you are trained to fight this. You are not trained to run from it.
Right. She was holy presence because it's a cumulative effect. So yeah, she's not going to try to protect Vasily from this at all either. So she's just gonna. The prayers get louder, the chants get louder, and she begins to glow again, even more brightly. She's filled with the Emperor's radiance.
So you get to hero point.
Thank you.
And what do you do? The bloodletter is up on the altar.
Holy presence. Yes, she is going to use her holy presence again as it's a cumulative effect. So
all right. So he has to try to resist it.
They all need to make rolls.
He tries to avert his gaze against the half damage, which he does. So he rolls against half effect, and he makes a will save against now effect 2. He rolls 11, which means 1 degree of failure, meaning it stacks with 1 year. Did he have 1?
Yep, he already had one.
Yeah. So he gets the second one now.
That is stunned.
Stunned. The prayers seem to get a hold of him. It's the combined weight of the fire with your prayers just lock him in place. And he's
What
stunned.
about Vasily?
Vasily, he's not a heretic, correct? If he is not a Val, or is it affecting everyone?
I think it affects everyone.
Then Vasily also needs to make a dodge and will save.
Dodge and will, and I'm fatigued. So does that?
Doesn't
Does that affect it?
Hang on, I will check it for you because you asked.
Well, that's a 10 for the dodge, and for the will, that's going to be a natural 20. So, haha.
You are hindered means you move at half speed. Okay, not 20. So you take no effect from the dazzle. You notice the shining bright light next to you, but you just take it in and fuel your action, which is now. As the demon is stunned, and I will read up what stun does. Cannot take any actions, including free actions. So he will. He does try to break it on his turn, which he doesn't. Which brings us to Vasily. He is
Down.
stunned.
Yeah. If I were to... can I spend an extra effort again, or is that a one-time thing?
You can spend it twice, but if you take fatigued again, you go out. You go unconscious.
I go, phew, lights out.
Hang on. No. The next one is actually... you have fatigued. I'll look it up.
Do I die if I do it again?
No.
Okay.
Cost a fatigued hero who uses extra effort again becomes exhausted. And exhausted means you're at a -2 penalty and also fatigued.
On top of being fatigued.
Yeah.
Okay.
To all actions, pretty much.
To every
events.
action. One more prayer. One more prayer to change the damage from fire to holy. Okay. He just sort of racks what is left of his mind to kind of find the one. In the darkest of moments, humanity's light, the Emperor's light, shines brightest. And with that, just another gout, of holy flame towards this poor demon of pure chaos.
All right. You don't need to roll me an attack, but I do get to. He cannot dodge, so he will roll against full effect. With his -3 penalty still. So he has a +4, giving him 13 against damage 8. There's my 13 against damage 8. 8. There you go. Damage 8 rolls a 13, giving him a dazed and a -2 penalty, putting him at -5, and he is still staggered as well.
And at that point, I think, you'd notice that Vasily has been sort of holding the flamer like a vice, white-knuckled, and sort of just looking to you, Safenia. So we're going now? Just with a broken voice.
All right, it does bring us back to the top. As the last people that were fighting, there's 2 still standing, and they're in a duel. They sought each other out, and Safenia and Vasily are still standing as well here. The others have gone. Safenia, he's burning. He's frozen.
Yeah, she's gonna put a sword in him. And she's just gonna go straight in and straight up. I'm trying to gut him.
All right.
I don't think that's going to hit. Can I use my hero point to make this thing freaking heroic?
Yeah.
As she
you
takes this
definitely
demon
can.
down?
Yeah. And I think you also have your nat 20 still. I haven't taken.
I don't see one
Vasily's
on.
yet.
I didn't see one on the screen.
It is on the
Oh, I do have one. Oh, yes.
It's,
Let's nat 20 this, baby.
And I will take Vasily's away.
Yeah, let's do
Alright.
the nat 20.
So that means you get an auto crit, and you get +5 effect. He will have to resist against effect 12, if I'm correct now.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And he has a -4 total penalty. No, -5. Giving him a total roll of 7. How do you kill the Bloodletter?
As she's still chanting the prayers, the sword goes in and it comes up and then it comes off through the shoulder right here and then across and takes his head. So it's up like that.
The head, it falls down the altar onto in between the dead bodies on the floor.
And I look around and I see I've done my duty. My duty here is done. And I look at Vasily and I say, I hope you can still run. And she's gone.
Okay. With your first action, you get halfway across the floor with your move on this action, giving us. I think it's Jason now. Jason, the demon fell to the floor. The weapon stopped burning, but the body is burning with yellowish golden flames.
Yep, still not cognizant. I think at that point it would have devolved to pure instinct, and as soon as Sifenia just bolted, it's sort of like, oh, we're running now, great, and just straight off as quickly as he can.
Right, you manage to get next to her with both your actions.
Go
You go
ahead,
half
no
as
worries.
fast as her.
Yeah.
On the initiative 4, the last 2 who were already bruised and battered go down, and you notice that the glowing on the left of the room it fades as blood has seeped into all the runes on the floor, and probably the ritual completed. And you do hear some a clank of unlocking, and the altar, it opens up. The body of the demon stays on the half of the slab. I will put up the picture of the altar here. So the 2 halves, they go to the sides, and it's open, and the demon just lays flat on one of the slabs, falling off. Do you continue running? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Then,
oh no. I want to see what comes out.
okay, you say.
I'm running, but I'm staying at the entrance.
Okay.
Yeah.
As she's, when you stay at the entrance, nothing comes out. It just opened.
That's the. Do I see the bomb anywhere, or is it literally just sort of I know that something's gonna explode?
If you, as you scan, you can spot the device that's planted, but I don't know how it looks from the outside. Kevin, muted.
From what I heard before, it was a bunch of plastic explosive.
Yeah.
If I was
So probably in a bag.
Well, it was in a bag. I decided to gussy her up because the care package must be pretty. So wrapped in sacred tape, duct tape, blocked together, has multiple wires going through everything, and then wrapped in deck cord, set to a timer with number of purity seals on each end of the timer. You see it running down. By this time, you've got 9 minutes left.
I'm gonna take a look at it for a long time and consider dunking it into the altar.
I'm faster.
All
right,
You're correct in that,
Go.
and I just sort of hobble off.
Yep, I'm faster. Scoop it up. It's a dunk and gone.
Okay.
And then just me at the same pace, just running down the tunnel, just sort of hobbling.
If at some point I catch up with him, I probably will grab him by the scruff of the neck and just start dragging him along, because she's using every bit of power she's got.
It's like dragging a drowned man. Like, it's dead weight.
She's in power armor. I think she can handle it.
You can easily lift him with your combined strength of power armor. And so you will get to the surface about 3 minutes before it goes off. Meaning you all have a moment to discuss as I go to the toilet.
Fiddling with it.
Discuss as we're getting into the car.
Well, you because Kifkin has to walk this entire time as he's jury-rigging Melta fuel and a power pack into an improvised explosive device, and then taking what prayers he has, wrapping this thing, and that last little like shoelace worth of deck cord, tying around this thing. Saying a prayer.
She would offer you a prayer or two off of her armor, but she's going to say, the bloodletter is dead and the altar opened up. Nothing came out, so we dropped the bomb down in it.
And you see Vasily kind of drooling at this point, like he's just conked. Like,
and Madam Inquisitor, I believe it would be best to one of those nice jackets with the extra long sleeves for Vasily when we are able.
Oh, please.
He got touched.
Yes, his mind was, I believe, taken by the Seeker at some point.
Oh, only just for temporary purposes, momentary. I barely got a shot off.
If we get back to the ship, I know the ritual of witch pricking. I can make certain that he is most definitely mind wiped.
Kifkin, I have no doubt in your pricking abilities. Let's worry about that later.
Okay.
That's not a joke.
Walk faster.
Inquisitor, my ears deceive me. Did you just make a joke?
What was that ritual, and what is the result of that thing blowing up? And she's aware, and she is looking for Arbites and shit, because we are definitely going to have been noticed by now. And we're coming up to the surface.
Yeah, setting the ritual device behind us, and as you see him set it down, like, gingerly, and just give it a light pat, he then runs, like the fastest you've ever seen it.
Yeah, roll me a technology.
I think the sight of Kipkin running is going to become Matilda's least favorite thing.
18.
18. Okay, all right. As you all run, those explosives go off at the correct time, and the hull seems to collapse mostly. The route down.
I'll take my sling. My sling's close.
Yeah. As you come up to the surface, Donnie is there waiting outside the Arbeitstrack you used before with several Arbeits around him. There's people up around, but none of them seem aggressive to you.
Run!
It is best if we evacuate quickly.
Yes.
Very, very quickly.
Donnie, do what you can. Get them to evacuate. Get back in the vehicle, though. And she's like ushering him into the driver's seat. Like, what are you doing? Out, you stupid man.
Okay. You'll climb in. You'll shout some orders into his comms, and you do notice that people are packing up quickly, getting into their vehicles and starting whichever ones they use. So they're following.
Do not bother
orders.
packing your equipment. Just go.
And they
In
go.
initiating the rite of obliteration, one actually communes with the machine spirit and makes it pissed. So, big boom. Really big boom.
Yeah, so about the time when you start driving out of the camp, you hear a big explosion coming out of the tunnel. There's like a whiff of dust coming through the small gaps that were left by the smaller grenade. The mountainside does not collapse, though. You do feel a shockwave.
Well, I did drop it
Matilda?
down the altar.
In this
We
moment,
didn't see how.
is going to push out her mind and gonna have to take a flying leap out this car, I guess. And she's gonna search for any mines at that plant.
Okay. So, are you gonna continue ordering Donnie to continue driving while this?
I would assume that order was very clear.
Yeah. So he'll stay on driving. It will take a while for you to move yourself down the hallway. You managed to go through the cracks in the first blockade now made by Kifkin, as the hard rocks resisted quite a bit of the blast, but still collapsed the hallway. You move down, and as you come into the chamber, it's a mess. Most of the bodies that were there are any body parts that are left are scattered across the walls, on the 4 walls. There's rubble everywhere, and in the middle, instead of seeing an altar, there's a crater and what looks like machinery, parts of machinery, and there. You still have to roll me a willpower.
Yes,
by
I
the
was
way.
about to say I need to roll my willpower. I was gonna let you keep going, but
Yeah.
yeah. 24.
Okay. Yeah. And you do feel drawn towards the rubble, as there's an object there, which as the rest is kind of hazy, it's very defined. Like if everything is monochrome, this one is shimmering a little bit purple-ish, and it's underneath a lot of rubble. Which you but the purple shines through.
What shape
It's
is this
small.
object? She'll push closer.
You can sense it's kind of like a helmet of sorts. But you cannot physically connect with it, as
No.
the rubble blocks your movement.
Okay. And I find no mines here. No. Okay. Good to know. She'll just go back to her body.
Okay. And I will do this. Make it a little bit.
I don't
nicer.
like when you do things after I do things.
other
It's
music.
disconcerting. Okay. No,
Yeah.
I was good with that music. Okay.
Yeah. So, do you continue driving? Do you talk while driving? That's the main question.
Oh, okay.
Jason
I
looks
will
in a
say
bad shape.
Yeah, I will say if Vasily opens his mouth and makes a sound, like any sound emanates, Svenja is going to gag him again and then tend his wounds.
Okay. Muted, I think.
You're muted, Jason.
I think he wants to say something, but at this point, like, he's so pleased that the Emperor decided to work through him, at least like this once, that he's just sort of like lackadaisically sort of staring up, like blood like pouring out from God knows how many wounds, but just like silently staring at the ceiling.
I'll assist Kifkin in tending his wounds, and then also making sure that the Inquisitor's wounds are being tended to as well.
Be ready for a bit of a pinch. This is going to smart. As we will try and tend to his wounds. 19.
19. That will make sure you don't bleed out, definitely. You do come to senses with treatment. Still hurts, but it's getting better.
I sort of pat Kifkin's cheek. Marvelous display earlier. Much appreciated. And you? I point to Safenia and smile. Who are you? And he's just going to continue laughing. Like, there's no thought behind his words. He's just sort of like,
Shall I
he's
gag him?
very, very tired.
He needs to rest.
Well, then knock him out, or I will. You have the med kit.
I don't necessarily want to give him a sedative, considering what we just saw. We don't know who else on this planet knows about what was going on.
There's at least 3 others, and he just points to Kifkin and Matilda. So we have at least 3. And we know those 3.
Slap the hand over the mouth.
No.
Matilda, at this moment, I imagine, kind of returns to her body because she's had to take a while to get down and do what she needs to do. And she kind of comes back to herself. We know another who knows what was going on there.
David.
Yes. And what's more, I know what is there. What we are leaving behind.
Oh.
It is a helmet. It is of that material. It glows purple. It is difficult to reach, but not impossible. There is no one close to it now. But that doesn't mean there won't be.
I need to get access to this planet's historical records. Because if I need to know when the tombs were built, or
Does this really make a difference in the end?
Yes. I need to know if this is part of humanity's history or Xenos. That makes an amazing difference.
Fenya, let him speak.
Hand down.
Or demon. Demon is another distinct possibility in this consideration.
Yes, but the helmet was interred. And it required a very specific ritual to open it.
The helmet was completely untouched by that explosion.
An artifact. Okay.
We could
Kifkin-
guard the site, seek a way to destroy it, but there were others. There was other stuff they were looking for. This is one piece.
Yeah. Kifkin reaches into his robes, pulls out a very small journal, starts flipping through it.
And the man, he was a psyker, but he was not good enough.
Okay. So we're dealing with...
He was a disciple. Can I, using my mind communication, question for the DM, use it to give my colleagues the image that I saw in the heretic's mind of the assembled heretics? So Eva, Cornelius, the woman with the sharp nose. Can I give them that image?
Yeah. Yes, you can. I will.
I'll make a roll to do it. But she will also say, I need you to open your minds so that I may share with you those that I have seen so far. They may be already identified, but there may be others too that we will later come to know. And she'll turn and look to Donnie, meaning to include him in this also.
And Vasily just sort of outright states, "Oh, that's right. You're a psych. I forgot for almost a minute that you were a psych."
Alright, I will make that roll. Natural 1!
Oh, God!
I was
TG
so
Matilda is not working.
tempted to use my natural 1 on this.
Oh no!
I was thinking, this would be the perfect time to use a natural 1 on the psycho roll. As you reach out to the others,
Yep.
you manage to convey the image. Everyone sees the Cornelius, who you
I have my
recognize
notes,
to be
like the
the
region
psyker.
notes that I have.
Yeah.
So we have a large man that we know to be Fox, who is already dead. We have the brown-haired guy, who we now know to be Cornelius. We have a woman with a sharp nose. We have a bold man. Eva.
The bald man is David.
No, you don't recognize him as David. No,
I don't recognize him as David.
The
All I
bald
had
man
in
was
my
in that
notes were
prison, if I'm
David.
correct.
Oh, I
Is
thought
that
I
the
had.
one, is that the one you're referring to?
It was just in the description of Eva's comrades.
Yeah. There was a worker there as well.
Okay.
But it's not David. Definitely not. So you see them around the table, and as you rolled a net 1.
Yeah, tell me. I'm so good at rolling these when I'm doing brain stuff.
Everyone actually also you kind of bleed out the visions, what you saw in the tomb, but your mind gets drawn back there, and it's kind of calling for you in a way, all of you, but not out loud. You have a feeling there's more to this, and an image comes by of this helmet in full glory, in a what almost like the frescoes you remember of ancient battles, but it's not humanity fighting here. And in the center of the image is a being a head taller than what a human would be, in this armor purplish. With the armor complete. And that's where we'll wrap up. As next week you get to escape from Matilda's memories.
Oh, great.
Which is great, because Matilda's not here next week, so she can't help you out.
Oh, Oh, that's perfect. No, I think I'm not here next week
this is
either.
not going to be good for Safenya.
So we're just
The three of you are lost next week without a GM and without the Inquisitor.
So I haven't mentioned that in our chat yet, but next week Matilda and me, Charlie and me are not here. So we'll skip next week. In 2 weeks' time, we'll continue as you try to escape the mind of our Inquisitor Matilda. As we will wrap up this session and hand off to what is it again? Beginner's Play today?
It is, yes, it's Land by Play, Ravnica Unleashed.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go around our cast and crew, see what you thought of today. Looking forward to next week. And where can we find you online? And let's do our routine circle starting at Cleric of Court.
Oh, well, I'm a Cleric of Court, and Safenya has finally been able to fulfill her duties. Being able to take down that daemon was just, that was everything for her. But she knows now that there's a lot more. And she's basically of the mind of blow them all up and let the Emperor sort them out. At this point, I love it. 2 weeks. Oh, I'm going to go nuts for the next 2 weeks. So I am at Cleric of Court. That's where you can find me on the Twitters. I have a pinned tweet at the top of my page that will tell you where all the different games I'm playing in throughout the week. I will be back here on Encounter Roleplay on Thursday. We will be doing Once Upon a Time with Susanna Grace as our DM. I play Due Diligence, the Warforged Wizard, he tends to take things literally, to put it mildly.
A little bit.
And then after that, just a little bit. And then after that, we are in Will's, right after that, actually, we're in Will's homebrewed world playing some low fantasy gaming. This will be the last of the 3 short campaign, three session arc. So come join us. We're fighting ratmen in the sewers and in the mountains. Lots of fun. That's me.
Thank you. Next up, Pope.
Hey folks, Pope here. Pope World Build on the Twitter, World Build on the Twitch. That was something. And hey, Kifkin only killed one person today. Only one. So we're at 22. And
Weren't the people in the tunnel, in the cave, still alive when you...
oh no, they were long dead.
Oh, they were all gone? Okay.
Yeah, they finished their
We
fight
can't
with
add
each
those
other.
to your account.
No,
Okay.
no. I'm not taking credit for that. 22. And yeah, no, today was harrowing. And in 2 weeks, going to have to sort through the mind of an Inquisitor. Lovely.
Not just the mind of an Inquisitor, the mind of Matilda. Good luck!
As for where you can find me, aside from here every Monday and all across all sorts of streams, but if you want to see me again, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, on Encounter Joshua's channel, The Long March returns. And you'll all get to see me in the world of Iter, playing my first ever gnome. So
Good luck.
we will see how terrible and how quickly we will all die since we're level 1.
Nice to be with you there.
Yes. Till next time, Chaos Chorus. Take care. See you soon.
Aha.
Jason.
Yes, a bit of... oh, gosh. Bit of an intense session there. Wonderful moments of, action and mystery abounding, and now with being stranded in an Inquisitor's mind, Matilda's mind more specifically, of course. Opportunities seem to be either shrinking or growing, dependent upon your view, I suppose. Holy crap, this was wonderful. I'm so glad to be a part of it. At Just Jason Please on Twitter. wonderful human race that has grown stronger with the burning of the heretics that Vasily facilitated. Outside of Encounter Roleplay, you can find me over on Susanna Grace's channel, over on Pro Restarter's channel, and coming very soon, you'll be seeing me over at We Are Nerdsmith, a lovely little collective that I've been involved with a RPG by the name of Final Rites. It's RITES. It's a lovely little concept. Go ahead and search it up on Twitter, Final Rites RPG, and see what happens when you give me control of a boat that's sailing on the River Styx.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Charlie, last but not least.
Oh no, I'm not the last, Bastian. You will be the last.
Yeah.
Let it be known. I really enjoyed today. It was great to see Sefenia, Kipkin, and Vasily all in their element and all in action and bringing their own tiny slices of law and order to chaos and chaos to law and order, because that is the way we roll. Matilda having a knack, of course, for rolling nat ones at crucial moments when she's doing her mind stuff. But I love the nat ones. They are when the interesting things happen. And I'm very excited for 2 weeks to take a tour in Matilda's mind. And then hopefully go and actually stop the heretics and do what we're meant to be doing on the planet. We'll see. Oh shit, I've just realized Donnie is also now stranded in her mind.
Uh-huh.
Didn't think this through.
What is he gonna find? Very interesting.
As we all go walking through Matilda's mind palace. Whoopsie.
Quick, hide the fanfic. So I will be back playing RPG tomorrow over on Pro Restarter's channel. We play Dungeon World at 1 p.m. Eastern. Super fun, fancy. I play a mushroom druid halfling, and it's a lot of fun. And then Wednesdays, we are back here on Encounter Roleplay in the 5 p.m. Eastern slot with our new show, which hasn't been announced, but will be soon, and will be fun, and will be another adventure. Because it's Wednesdays, and Wednesdays mean adventure and trouble with me and Will and a few other cast members. It's so annoying. They haven't announced anything, so I can't say anything. I'm the worst at secrets. I'm so excited. I want to talk about it. But yes, thank you everyone in chat for joining. Thank you to you who made contributions and did the retweets. To 12-sided guy. I got it right this time. And to everyone watching the VOD over on YouTube and over on Twitch, don't forget we are live here on Mondays in the 2 p.m. Eastern slot, and we would love to have you join in and yell at me and yell heresy and be part of the Chaos Chorus. That's everything from me. Bastian, over to you.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Glad you are.
I can great drawings, of course, as always.
I love the artwork. I am living for your doodles. We need more of those, please, sir.
It helps clear up a room situation. Enjoyed the combat. Sorry if I was a bit slow here and there on calls, but we're all you're all learning as well. So normally I have a group that corrects me, so now I have to. But that's good. I enjoyed today. I had Cornelius was kind of badass. Spec'd out. You are. It was perfect for you to use a hero point on that will save, because otherwise you would have gotten none. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Had the blood letter, so gonna have that again if you're not careful, right? So next week we'll skip on that one as I am working and Charlie has to be elsewhere as well. But the week after, we'll be back and we'll continue our journey on Thelenum 5. So I will hand you over to a tunnel and then on to Ravnica. And we will see you all next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Button.